Hey, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, what a week.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, so we sort of got the episode together that went up last night. We got together pretty quick, largely because we edited our own segments. So we were able to get it done kind of half the time. But I think we kind of realized, like, way too late that when we saw that we were going to have to hold back on releasing the Night Trap documentary for a bit,
Right.
uh, we were like, well, we don't have anything ready to, we weren't ready to just, we realized that it started to be too many weeks since we released an episode, and then like, well, what can we do quick? And so we did Hidden Gems, and I was pretty surprised because I spent some time during the week capturing gameplay for my games and writing the scripts, which didn't take long. But I was so busy with work stuff throughout the week
Mm-hmm.
that I just really didn't have any time until Friday afternoon. And I was like kind of proud of myself that I had nothing but the recordings and the scripts by, early Friday afternoon. I shot my on-camera stuff and started editing, and the episode, you finished your editing a little before me,
Mm-hmm.
and the episode was done at about 8:30 last night. So like a day and a half of
For
actual
you, yeah, it was a day and a
production.
half. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess I wrote mine on Monday, shot on Tuesday. But I mean, I don't have like the same kind of solid chunks of like edit time that
that's true.
you can arrange for yourself. So I'm always, I mean, I edited Gunstar Heroes I like Thursday night, and then I did
Definitely the one you were more excited about.
yeah, and then I did Dragon's Lair on Friday night, and then I did the intro segment like yesterday afternoon.
There's word that your voice might be too loud.
Okay, hang on one sec. Let's turn it down a little bit. All right, maybe I'm just too close to the microphone. All right,
But
hopefully
yeah, I
that's
mean,
better.
the reaction to the episode has been surprisingly good. I mean, uh, we've kind of got used to game focused episodes don't get as much attention as some of our other stuff, but it's kind of got a lot of views for
Yeah,
something like.
surprisingly, very surprisingly. Uh, I don't know. I think that I kind of felt like releasing it last night when we did. We were kind of like sending it out to die in some ways. We needed something on the channel, and it
Yeah,
was, but it kind of makes me think. Like, I think that sometimes we overthink what we're doing.
we frequently, if not all the time, overthink what we're doing.
Yeah, we want to give everybody the episodes that they want, but at the same time, I think it's okay if they get if people don't mind if they get smaller episodes
Yeah,
like this.
yeah. Well, and and there's always comments like, oh, RGB is great and all, but I really like to just see y'all talk about some games.
Right.
So, even if they don't get as many views, I mean, there's definitely people out there who appreciate it, and they certainly take a lot less time to make than some other episodes for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just feels good to do a game focused episode. I mean, I played all the way through Dragon's Lair in a day and a half, an
Mm.
evening and then the next morning. And it's just kind of cool to be able to do that because I don't get the opportunity to do that often.
Yeah, yeah. So there was a comment on the video that just randomly suggested that the 3D Metal Slug game for PS2, he thought it was actually pretty good, and that a lot of people just haven't played it. And Coury thought, well, dagnabbit, let's give it a try on the stream tonight. And
Yeah,
you tested it out a little bit, and you thought, I didn't even know this existed.
I didn't either.
Is
I
it
didn't
just
either.
called Metal Slug?
Yeah, it's just called Metal Slug, but it's also like referred to as Metal Slug 3D.
Okay, okay. So, but I mean, if I had seen a box that just said Metal Slug, I probably wasn't thinking like, oh, is this like a 3D PS2 game? But I've been seeing some comments in the chat room, not thinking too highly of it. But you gave it a little test play and thought it seems kind of cool. Like it doesn't have inversion problems.
Right. That's become a kind of a issue for this particular generation for me, because so many controls are inverted. Like the up and down, left and right are like they're more like camera tripod kind, and I'm used to the other way now. And a lot of them don't have options to change that at all. That didn't really become a thing until the last generation.
Yeah, I played. I bought today. I went out game shopping today and bought Maximo versus the Army of Zen. And
almost made it in this episode, but then we decided we thought maybe 2 PS2 games would be too much.
Yeah, well, because then like everything you covered, even though you played the Xbox version of Dragon's Lair, everything would have been available on PS2, which might be a little too much. But yeah,
right.
But yeah, like I popped it in. It seems really good, but it does have like it doesn't look like you need really vertical camera control, but horizontal is inverted. And I was just staunchly in favor of horizontal inversion because, like you said, camera tripod, push left to pan right and push right to pan left. That was I was all about that horizontal inversion. But then when games like Uncharted and Infamous sort of started blurring the line between what is aiming and what is moving a camera, then that was like, okay, I can't process switching between camera controls and aiming controls in this sort of game anymore. And I was just like, I need to get used to it being one way. So I adapted to the mouse style on a stick, of right is right and left is left and up is up and down is down. And part of me feels like I sold my soul to do that, but but now I'm used to it, and sometimes it can be hard to go back to the PS2, GameCube, Xbox generation. Not always. I mean, for certain games that like I played a lot during that era, I can pick up the controller and some small amount of muscle memory makes me want to go, left is right and right is left. But
yeah, I mean, it is really difficult for me to go back to it. And with Maximo, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to play through this whole game.
It has like a Zelda style camera centering, though.
Right, like so, on L1.
Yeah, so you can just use that instead.
But I mean, we'll save that game for something else, I think, down the road. I think in all, the lesson that we've learned in the last week and a half is that we don't want to like get caught in a situation like this again. In that we're going to be trying to, prep some smaller episodes and upload them and have them at the ready in case certain things don't pan out the way that we want.
And after doing this episode, I actually feel a lot more confident in our ability to throw something together quickly, because it could have come together even more quickly if I'd been less busy this week.
Right. You had a very busy work week.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I feel good about it. It came out pretty good.
Yeah.
So should I get started with this?
Yeah, let's go. I want to see this. I mean, I looked up a little video. It was kind of cool because like the video had like the main, I don't know his name, but the main Metal Slug guy, like Marco. I guess the default character. What's his name?
Marco, okay. Like
his run animation like looked just like in the 2D games.
Yeah. So this game, it was released in Japan only.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it has English voiceover, and like all the menus are in English.
Interesting.
And it has, you can build up your stats and everything.
Hey, Tarma, get up.
I mean, I think it looks pretty good.
Well, let's check it out. What was it? What year was it released?
2006.
Oh, wow. So really late release.
Yeah.
Just another case of
Interesting.
The characters, you know, they look kind of weird in the way that they're look like the 2D game, but in 3D. You know,
I mean, I think it's kind of cool.
yeah.
They've opened fire on us. Talk about trigger happy. Contact HQ. Request immediate.
It was developed by SNK Playmore, but nobody that worked on the 2D games worked on this.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. It's a totally different skill set, you know?
Right.
What? Holy! It seems like we somehow got hit.
I mean, you can just tell from looking at the 2D games that, like, sprite work is, like, those guys' specialty. Like,
Yeah.
you know, trying to mess with 3D
I'm gonna
is,
make my own little surprise attack.
you know, when you're that good at sprites.
After you
Right.
set me down, return to HQ and bring me some back.
So, today I bought, another thing I bought was Resident Evil 2 for the Dreamcast, which is something I've been wanting for a while, and I didn't realize it's getting a little bit expensive. But
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
I mean
this,
2 and 3 are expensive.
Well,
Like
I
the
got-
GameCube or the GameCube versions are expensive too.
Yeah, well, I got those when they were new, but those were the first versions of those games I owned. But I got 3 at your house like half a year ago or so, and it was only like $30. It was like pristine too, and the one that I found today for Resident Evil 2 was $50, which I was not wanting to pay for that, but it was, I mean, it was a pristine copy, and I feel this weird compulsion to own like every version of like the Resident Evil games. Maybe not every version, but I just want like a lot of versions of those games, and I can't explain it. But anyway, so I don't think I've turned on my Dreamcast since I redid my setup, and when I first turned on Resident Evil 2, I'm like, whoa, weird. There's this, it's in 480p, but there's a scan line overlay. Like, why would they have done that? And then I was like, oh, wait, I'd probably accidentally have the scan line overlay flipped on the Toro box.
Right. I picked up the machine gun. How do I use the heavy machine gun here? There's
So does this red mean you're like locked in the area?
right. Oh, interesting. So the levels are kind of like the action sequences are kind of separated out, almost like a platinum game,
What do you mean?
where you get like a score for the area.
Oh, okay. I mean, this looks kind of cool.
I know, right?
I mean, how does aiming work?
You can hold down R1 to lock on.
Okay. Do you aim with the right stick at all,
No.
or is it just turning?
Oh,
the
you
camera?
can cycle through people you're locked onto with the right stick.
Oh, so it's just like that's like Dark Souls. The Metal Slug 3D is the real predecessor to Dark Souls.
It's just because of that, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was. I mean, I can't think of a lot of games that use that lock-on scheme where you use the right stick to cycle through targets. Can you?
No. I'm trying to figure out how do I change weapons. Or I feel like I pick up
What?
the heavy machine gun, but I don't know.
What? Why is the gold red?
I think there are different amounts. Like some of them are gold, some of them are red.
But you just move the camera with the. Is there any like? Do you have to like aim vertically or anything, or is it just kind of automatically?
No,
lock
just
on?
kind of. You just hold down the R1, it locks on to whoever is there.
I mean, this looks good, and like the like the graphics look clean. You know,
Yeah.
like this looks awesome. This is making me want a Japanese PS2.
I thought you had one. No, you don't. You have a Japanese PS1.
I have a Japanese, yeah, PS1.
How do I
I'm going-
change weapons? I feel like I gotta change the weapons.
You know, I've actually never been like a big Metal Slug fan.
Oh,
Like,
interesting. Okay, there we go. Weird. That's kind of a weird way you change. You hold down L2 when you switch and press fire and you switch between the guns.
Oh.
That's kind of a weird kind of way to do it. There we go. There's a heavy machine gun now. So they are missions. They're like just levels, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really looks like Metal Slug, I think, you know? Like the like the look of it's carried over pretty faithfully, I think.
Yeah.
Marco here.
Yeah, I've never been like a big Metal Slug fan. Like, I got the original Metal Slug on Virtual Console, and I liked it. I didn't love it. Like, I definitely kind of saw it as like, oh, this is like another series, kind of like Contra.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe I was expecting it to be too much like Contra, and it wasn't quite.
It's definitely a lot more slower paced.
Yeah, it's different, and two, they can be kind of, they're designed to be arcade games, so they can be a little on the quarter munchery side, as I've said before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get good at it.
Right. I played at MagFest. I don't think it was this past year. I think it was the year before. I played through, I want to say it was Metal Slug 5. It had a bunch of alien stuff. But, it was like...
Well, 3 has a bunch of, has a lot of alien stuff, I think.
I don't think it was 3, though. I think it was like 4 or 5.
I think 3 might be considered the best.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Either 3 or X are considered the best, maybe. I don't know. We remember when we played all the Metal Slug games on stream. That was like our 3rd stream ever. We are coming in on our 100th stream.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we got to be really close to it at this point.
Wow. And we've missed very few.
Yeah.
For some reason, seeing like the style of these tanks is making me think of like Advance Wars, and it's just making me sad.
That there hasn't been any more.
Huh?
That there hasn't been any more.
Well, it's sad that there hasn't been any more Advance Wars, but also sad that the GameCube Advance Wars, kind of didn't, or well, they called it Battalion Wars, and it was made by a Western developer, and I don't know if they were really trying to be part of the Advance Wars series or not. I don't really know what they were trying to do with it, but I did not enjoy that game. I think it got pretty good reviews. Anyone here fan of Battalion Wars? Or there was a sequel on Wii. I think it was called Battalion Wars 2. I can't really remember what it's called, but I did not like the one on GameCube.
I'm just seeing what I can do in the garage before, so you can power up. So let's see what I can do. You can change your lock-on range, your life, your lock rapid bomb. Interesting. So you can. They're all expensive though. I only have 92 skill points, and I need 2,000.
There keeps being people walking in. They're like, "Oh gosh, this game." But I mean, I don't know. It looks good, right?
I don't know. It's funny because there's one playthrough of this on YouTube, and it has 200,000 views. It's like a 3-hour playthrough of the game. So obviously there's an interest in it, but not a lot of people. There's not a lot of stuff on it out there.
Right. Probably people just looked at it and saw like how cheesy and silly the story was, and you know, but no one's really played it.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, I had no idea this existed.
I mean, I can understand like if it was like boring, but like from what I played in the first level, it feels very competent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like it's, you know, it's a little weird seeing this stuff in 3D, but it's like it's pretty faithful to the vibe and atmosphere of, you know, to the style.
Right.
And I'll take it. I'm going to pursue Morton's soldiers. I want you to rescue the hostages. Yes, sir.
I mean, the voiceover and the dialogue is very serious sounding. How do I get in here? No. I'm gonna get in the Metal Slug.
I always forget that the Metal Slug is like the vehicle.
Right.
I always forget what it means.
I can't jump in. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's weird when you like get it over it. It like
Yeah, you can like walk through it.
Aaron. How do you get in?
I'm not quite sure how I did it. The music's kind of good too. Oh, how do I jump out? I don't know how to get out.
I'm gonna look this up on eBay.
I saw one. It was like $40.
Oh, okay. So I mean, it's a 2002 release. It might be a little rare, though. I wouldn't be surprised if. Well, I don't know. I mean, they kept making PS2 games for a long time after the PS3 here. Did anyone in the chat room go onto eBay and buy any of the games in the new episode? I know that before we released the episode, I went to eBay to grab a copy of Gunstar Superheroes just in case there was. I mean, because there's not a ton of copies, especially not card only, and I didn't want to pay the cost for a boxed copy, and so I want to buy that just in case a couple of people saw it and thought, hey, that game looks good and I'm going to buy it, you know? Or want to get while it good.
Nothing like fighting a tank with a handgun.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I got a rocket launcher. Let's see it.
Oh,
There it is.
Rocket launcher.
Yep. Here we go. Let's see how it goes. You know, it just feels like everything plays like you would expect it to for a Metal Slug game to be in 3D.
Yeah. But
It does have a separate button for your knife, though.
Ah. Do you have to, like, equip it?
No, it's just on triangle. So melee attack is separate. Oh. Oh. So you only get one life for it. Okay.
For what?
Oh, for the level. Unless I get to start at the checkpoint. Let's see what happens. I like the now loading. Oh yeah, I get to start there at checkpoint.
Okay, cool. You know, thinking of third person.
So the rocket launcher, you can like twin stick aim. Like I'm aiming, I'm holding down R1 and I aim, and then I can like look left and right and manually aim where it's going.
You know, thinking of third-person shooters on PS2 that people don't think are good. You know, when I was years ago, when I was kind of in collection purge phase, which, you know, obviously I regret. You know, there were.
You just didn't know you'd need all this stuff.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew that, you know, I would do a YouTube show that would make me wish I had like every weird game. I briefly thought about getting rid of Dirge of Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I beat that game when it came out. I didn't remember a lot about it. I remembered thinking like the bad guy troop in it was very like not Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
Like it had this weird like just Metal Gear vibe or something, or weirder than that. I don't know. It didn't fit in with Final Fantasy VII, you know?
Right.
But you know, I remember the game being okay. But I was, you know, I put it on my, I don't know if I could really get rid of this. I mean, especially because it's Final Fantasy VII, right?
Right.
You know, it's like I can't get rid of something related to Final Fantasy VII. And, you know, I put it in my PS2 and, like, played the first level, and I'm like, you know, I hate to admit that, but, like, it feels like it might be kind of good. Like, it was, like, it felt surprisingly, like, kind of slick, maybe? Like, you know, even though it was, like, well past that generation, it, like, didn't feel like a bad game to control.
Right.
You know, so like, I don't know if I'll truly ever revisit that game, but I've been kind of curious ever since, like if it would hold up over the course of a playthrough. The first level felt kind of okay.
Whoa, man, these enemies are bloodthirsty. They're like lunging at me from off screen. Whoa. Sorry, I was just kind of intense there, so I was focused on it. I never played Dirge of Cerberus. It was
Oh, do you have it?
No. Is that one that had a the greatest hits release, like had a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of fixes in it?
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, I feel like that was one that had, it was very much a Silent Hill 2 situation where the greatest hits version had a bunch of stuff fixed.
The well, I know that the Japanese version, apparently Vincent moved like a lot slower. I think they fixed a lot of stuff between the like I'm not saying like fixed bugs necessarily, but they fixed like a lot of gameplay. Like they polished up the gameplay between the Japanese and Western releases. Like I know for sure that like the movement speed was faster. I don't know what else. I can't quite remember what else they did.
All right, so that might be it then. Oh, whoa, this guy's coming right after me.
I mean, it was a late release. In fact, I want to say it might have been. I mean, it was definitely 2006 because it was like maybe the first game that I bought after I started my job.
Really?
It was either that or Xenosaga Episode 3. Let me see which released first. Dirge of Cerberus. You know what drives me crazy about the Final Fantasy VII sequel stuff, other than the fact that, you know, it is of uneven quality, let's say, to be nice. It drives me crazy that Final Fantasy VII is the subtitle. So they're alphabetized by Dirge of Cerberus, not Final Fantasy VII, or you know, Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII, or maybe that one might be Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, or Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, you know. Like, why is it not Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus? Like, it drives me nuts. Screws up my Alpha Station. Anyway, it was released August 15th, 2006 in North America. So that was probably like...
Wow, so that is really late.
Yeah, it was a couple months before Final Fantasy 12, though. That was November 2006. You know, that was just a few months before. I mean, well, Final Fantasy 12 released the same month as the PS3, and Dirge of Cerberus just a few months before. Let me see when Xenosaga 3 came out.
That's one series I'm surprised we didn't get in HD.
Well, you know, there was
compilation
one of the producers at Namco. Like, I want to say it was like someone like, because, you know, obviously Takahashi and you know, all those Monolith Soft people, you know, they aren't working with Namco anymore because Nintendo owns them.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say it was like the Tekken producer or someone like that. Like several years ago, like he really wanted to make a Xenosaga HD collection, and he kept telling people, like, you know, let Namco know that you want a Xenosaga HD collection, but I guess it never happened.
That's too bad. I have all three of them. I've only really played. I played like a little bit of the first one. I think that I played through like when Cosmos like becomes like a total badass.
Yeah,
when she first like kind of awakens up, or like the music is really great on that part.
I remember when I played the game, I spent like, they were like, you know, Shion Uzuki report to the bridge, please. And like I spent like an hour wandering the ship before I actually made it to the bridge. There's just like so much to like, so many people to talk to, and so many places to explore. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to come back here. I need to explore. You know, I didn't realize until a few years ago that there's a lot of people who like really love Xenosaga Episode 3.
The third one? You didn't like the third one?
No, I mean, I liked it, but I always thought it was kind of considered a disappointment because it was originally supposed to be like a 6-part series, and it, you know, they kind of had to rush everything. Like, they had to like wrap up the entire plot between, you know, 2 and 3.
And wasn't the second one like they just kind of wasted the second one kind of?
In terms of plot, I can't really remember specifically what happened, but the second one has a battle system that is very interesting in theory, but it takes like, you know, it's not unlikely for a normal encounter to take like 30 minutes or 20 or 30 minutes. Like, it's a very if I'm remembering right, like the battle system kind of revolves around like defending, and then like I think like as you get hit, you like charge up, your attack charges up. And like if I remember right, I think your attack is just almost useless. Like if you just attack without like building up strength.
In the second game, this is?
In the second game, yeah.
Okay.
And it just it's not random encounters. I mean, you see enemies before you fight, but yeah, it's annoying. I remember the regular battle music in the game being really good, but the battles just take way too long.
But then the third one kind of goes back to the original style, right?
The original, I mean, the battle system in the first game is like pretty standard, like pretty typical. I don't think any twists that are too unusual. The third game's battle system, I don't remember anything about, but I want to say it was pretty similar to the first game.
And
But
they went from that really like anime style from the first one to kind of a more real style with the second and third one, right?
I mean, it's still very anime looking, but I guess they went. The first game was definitely more of a.
Like
They
a
were not
cartoony.
real. They were not realistic proportions. I mean, the characters kind of had like big heads and big eyes.
Right.
And they were still. It's second and third are still very anime looking, but they're like realistically proportioned. But like it was like the first game's character proportions were maybe a bit more like this game, Metal Slug.
Right.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a preference between the styles of the two. I mean, Xenosaga definitely has some like interesting villains, like really terrifying like villains.
Does everything get wrapped up pretty good though?
I think so. Like I don't remember like a lot about like what the conclusion of the story really was. Yeah, I mean I remember like
Is that something you feel like you'd want to replay one day?
Whew, I mean, it's definitely a commitment. I mean, they aren't super long. They aren't super long games. Like, I would say they're all like 30 hours or less, but...
And that's like more like mostly cutscene.
It's a good chunk of it is cutscene for sure. But I would definitely be interested in revisiting. I actually started a replay of the first game, I think while I was still in college.
Wow.
And I never, like, I played maybe halfway and never finished the replay. I can't remember if it was before the second one came out. Like, they all came out, like, very much in my college years. Like, the first game came out my freshman year. The second game, I want to say, was maybe my junior year. And then the third game came out, like, just a few months after I graduated and started my job. I don't remember a ton about how the game was. Like, and sort of I have a similar experience with. I had a hard time for a few months. Like after
I have no idea how to get in and out of the Metal Slug. Oh, is it? Oh, you click the right stick. Interesting.
Yeah. Like when I started my job, I think I had a hard time like getting into a few games at the time. Like that was when I was trying to play Valkyrie Profile on the PSP, and I could not get into it at all, and I should revisit it. It just wasn't the sort of game I was looking for at the time, I think. And like I was playing that on the PSP like before I even was able to move into my apartment. Like I was in a hotel room, and I was just I just with all that was going on, I think I just was not in the mood for a game like that. But I think I thought like, I don't like this game.
That's happened to you quite a bit, actually.
What do you mean?
Where you decided, oh, I don't like this game, and then you kind of wish that you had given it more of a chance.
I guess that has happened a number of times. Like, I think that actually kind of happened a lot around that time. Because that was like when I was just first... Around then was when I was first like kind of getting into like really clearing out my backlog.
Right.
So I was kind of in this phase where like if a game like didn't really seem like anything super special, then I would kind of get rid of it. Or if I mean I think in a lot of cases I kind of wanted to not really get into a game. Like my biggest regret is definitely Lufia 2. Definitely Lufia 2 because. Like, at the time, I was just like, yeah, I don't know if this is that good.
Did you have the first one, too, or not? Or just...
I've never had the first one. It was just the second. I really want it, though. I really want it. Like, I borrowed it from a friend and played the first hour or so. Like, I was like, do I want to give this game another shot. And I'm like, dang it, I do. It's really good. But yeah, like that was so. Like I say, I think Dirge of Cerberus was actually the first game that I played like in my apartment after I started my job. Like I was playing Valkyrie Profile in the hotel room, and I just wasn't doing anything for me. I couldn't figure out the battle system. Like I never got a grasp on the battle system.
You know, I was just like popping in different stuff recently, and I popped in Valkyrie Profile 2.
Mm-hmm. That game is interesting. Who was? You know, I think it was John Linneman who said that game is like. Actually, he really likes it, but I've heard.
I think it runs up to like 1080i.
Yeah. I think it's 60 frames too, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the battle system is tweaked from the original, in that you can kind of move around a bit more during the battle. It's kind of interesting. It's something I definitely want to play more of.
Yeah, the first game though, like there's a lot of like timing elements of like when you like attack with like each character and stuff, right?
Right.
And I like the game did not explain it.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I think it's one of those situations where it's oh, I knew I was gonna die. Where you kind of got to read a little bit about how to get good at it.
Yeah.
You know, there's like, I guess that's very true for whatchamacallit, Vagrant Story.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, Vagrant Story is another game that I could not get into. Now, I don't know if that would be an easy game to revisit.
It sucks because I used to have 2 copies of it, and I could have given you one. There was one that was released in a, you know, it came out in a double case because it came with one of the Square demo discs, but then they did a greatest hits that was just like a single disc version, which is what I used to have.
Well, I can't have a greatest hits version because I don't have any greatest hits on PS1.
Man. We all have these like limitations.
I'm okay with greatest hits on PS2 and PS3. That's cool.
You're also not okay with the greatest hits on the GameCube, right?
GameCube, yeah. Player's choice. Yeah, I cannot deal with it for GameCube either. I mean, I think it's because the GameCube I considered my main console in that generation.
Right.
I mean, I definitely played a ton of PS2, but I still considered the GameCube my main system. And so I was, very active in that generation, bought stuff, when it was brand new. And, so I already had a sizable GameCube collection. And, I didn't have any greatest hits, so... But I could understand why, like, someone who wasn't, like, as big into GameCube in the generation, Wait, I just hate that yellow strip on it, though. Like, I think it might look worse. I think it looks worse than the PS1 greatest hits.
Come on.
It almost
I think the PS1 is, like, the worst looking greatest hits.
Oh, I think the GameCube is worse.
Really?
I think it's... that yellow strip, it's so bland and plain, like, something about it just annoys me. PS2, I kind of like the red case for the PS3 greatest hits.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually got like, I'm kind of into that. The red strip on the PS2, I don't like it, but it's okay. I can deal with it.
I got my rocket launcher back. So you still watch? Are you still watching me play? You think this? Are you still interested?
Yeah, I mean, are you still enjoying it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot like how awesome is it? Describe.
I mean, it's not like changing my view of the world or anything like that. But But I think it's fairly
fun,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is there anything that annoys you about it?
The metal slug itself is kind of hard to control and feels kind of worthless.
But I mean, like your on-foot gameplay is like pretty easy to control.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it looks great.
Trying to get. I have one more hit left. I mean, if I get hit one more time, I'm dead. Oh, did I get him? I got him.
Ryan Schmidt is saying Dreamcast greatest hits are the worst. What do they look like? Is there greatest hits on Dreamcast? I mean,
yeah. They're red.
Red? Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look. What do they call it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think I have any.
Yeah, I can't think of what that looks like. Like, some Dreamcast games have a white spine and some have a
right. They changed how they
spine.
they did like the whole like rebranding like halfway through the console's life, which kind of sucks. I like the white stuff a lot, like the original cases, but
the older games are the white ones.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm looking at. Okay, yeah, because my Soul Calibur is white. It looks like I've got only three white games.
Right.
But yeah, I can't think of too many instances of where like well, I guess there are a few like PlayStation went from long box to standard.
Yeah, but I think that was only like a necessity. Like that's all they had available to them or something like that.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have any long box games. I don't really want it.
I only have one because it was only released in that way.
That would annoy me to have one. Like if I had
I just
one
put it like
long
next
box,
to my Saturn games.
If I had one long box, I would need to have more.
Yeah, the only one I have is Return Fire.
Though, I mean, probably even more drastic. Well, I don't know if it's more drastic than that, but it's just sort of a different thing. Like, I guess one of the biggest rebranding is the PS3. You know, they have that horrible logo. You know, the little spine thing with the 3 on it always looked a little stupid.
Oh, you didn't like the original?
No. I mean, I didn't hate it at the time, but like from day one when they had the new logo and the new spine and everything, I always liked that so much more.
Yeah, well, they even tried to do it a second time where they made it blue for a minute.
Really?
Oh yeah, and they made
PS3.
Yeah, a couple of games did it. Like Drakengard did it.
Drakengard?
Drakengard 3 did it. Yeah, there's a couple where they made it blue, and people are like, it looks like PS4. I don't know why. It's almost like they're trying to make people confused on purpose.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't see the spine, but
like the top.
Yeah, here's a picture. Yeah. Wow. Was Drakengard 3 in a purple case?
No, it's.
I'm looking at a picture. It's for a pre-order, and like the picture shows it's got like the blue spine and everything, like you're talking about PS4, but the case is purple.
Really?
Yeah, I wonder. It's interesting. Yeah, that's so weird. It looks so much like the PS4 cases.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely intentional. Like they're trying to get people to be confused about it.
Oh, okay, because this came out after PS4.
Right.
Interesting. Do you have that game?
No, and you know what? With Nier Automata like doing pretty well, it's gone up in price a bit.
Oh, I wonder if it'll go back down though. Because
I passed on it when it was like $14 one time.
Oh, but I wonder if it'll go back down because like there was like a big panic with like Shenmue 2 when the Kickstarter for the third game came up.
Right.
And like I like kind of freaked and like was like, oh my gosh, this is going up and it's probably going to keep going up. And I bought a copy for a little bit more than I should have.
Right.
And it did go back down. I don't think it was as low as it originally was, but still.
You were recently kind of surprised to find the Turtles in Time.
Yeah, so I was today. I was at a store with some friends today, and we saw a cart only Turtles in Time for $30. And I'm like, I swear that game was like 60 or 80 or something.
Yeah, I didn't think it was 60 or 80, but I think 60, yeah.
And I looked on eBay. I used to have that. I looked on eBay, and it did look like it was not that expensive now. So I might get a copy. I didn't get that one because I guess my friend wanted it more. So.
And you're not a huge fan of it either.
Yeah, I want it again though.
It's just a good game to have. It's like a good looking game.
Yeah.
And you have Hyperstone Heist also.
I do have Hyperstone Heist. I don't have it in the case, but I do have Hyperstone Heist. I liked Hyperstone Heist when I played through it a lot more than I thought I would. I just got this hang up because I just like Turtles 2 so much. And I've always been annoyed that the A and B attack in starting with Turtles 3 takes your health. I have this hang up about like all the other Turtles games because they started doing that, and it just irritates me. Because that in my opinion, that makes that attack literally useless.
But I mean, it's the same kind of deal as like Streets of Rage 2 does it, where your A attacks.
Yeah, and I don't.
It's kind of a
use
standard
that.
fight or beat 'em up thing.
Yeah, but this is different. It's different though because like Streets of Rage is like it's definitely like a superpower thing. This is just a double power attack. It's like a very basic attack. Like it's not like super strong. It's just a very basic attack. So it basically removed one move from your arsenal. And I've just always like I've never quite gotten over it.
Okay.
Those are fairly tough games. So I mean, it's like there's not really ever a moment where I feel comfortable sacrificing health. And you're already to use that attack. You're already like getting really close to the enemy and putting yourself in more danger. So I mean, I don't think it's unbalanced.
Kind of wondering if I can cheese this just by standing over here. So when you get a checkpoint, I don't think you get your health completely refilled. I thought you did. But nothing can seem to hit me over here, so I'm just gonna do this. I didn't even realize there was a map. I like that the shells coming out of the gun are pretty much the size of the gun.
So you think you'll play through Blasting again sometime?
Blasting again? I have not finished it before.
I didn't know that you'd played much of it.
I actually had it when it came out. I bought it when it came out because it released. It was like $10 when it came out.
It's so crazy. I wonder if it was so cheap in Japan. Like, I wonder if it was like a full price game in Japan, and then when they brought it here, they just thought, "Oh, we can't sell this here," and they made a budget game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the PS2 was out for a while already, and it was.
It was out in Japan when it released in Japan too. But still, like, it doesn't me, it doesn't feel like that much of a budget game. It's certainly not like $10.
Right.
So I feel like in Japan it may have not been, but I don't actually know.
You're also kind of interested in Contra Legacy of War after seeing that.
Well, I mean, I mean, I'm still pretty skeptical, but I have this like, even though like the character graphics are really bad in that, I have this like weird soft spot for games that use 3D environments but sprite-based characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like something about that.
All right, sorry. I didn't realize there was tanks at the top of the stairs.
But something about like the style where it's like sprite characters on a 3D world like just interests me. Like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl comes to mind. You know, even though I never really played it.
Did you know that there's over 150 Pokemons? It's never gonna it's. Oh, man, I got hit. This is tough. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. There's tanks at the top of these stairs, and it's getting me.
I think you had hoped that you were going to like Dragon's Lair 3D a little more than you did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It's pretty frustrating sometimes. I did hit my controller once.
You hit your controller?
Yeah, that's kind of like my if I get really like
punched it?
my how do I hit it?
Yeah.
I just hit the side like this.
Like with your fist? I mean,
I with my fist with like the palm of my hand usually.
Okay.
Like that's like sometimes that happens. Not very often. I mean,
that's like the most violent you get while playing a game.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the only time I've really like messed up a controller, the only time I've really messed up a controller is like F-Zero GX story mode probably.
Understandable. What did you do?
I just like started twisting the controller really hard. And there's definitely something inside of it was like rattling around afterwards.
You know, there was do you remember like the mushy B button issue with GameCube?
No.
Like when GameCube first launched, there was an issue a lot of people were getting where like the B button just like started feeling mushy. And people were talking online like if you take like the two handles and just like twist them in opposite directions just a little bit, just like apply pressure just like back and forth, like the B button sort of becomes springy again. And it worked. But I've read people online say that is the stupidest thing, that is not true, you're gonna ruin your controller doing that. And I'm like,
man,
look, it worked. You know, like my black controller that came with my GameCube definitely was just, it didn't have much click to it. It was just kind of mushy. And do it every once in a while. If it felt mushy again, you just do that little twist and fix it right up. But like the only I know I'm sure I've told this story on the stream before, but the only time I can remember ever throwing a controller was the final boss in Rogue Galaxy 2. Or, why did I say Rogue Galaxy 2? Rogue Galaxy. There is no Rogue Galaxy 2. I had at the time I'd been using for years. Logitech.
My gosh, I don't understand like why I can't get these guys better than I'm getting them. Sorry.
The Logitech wireless PS2 controllers. Do you ever use those?
No,
Have you ever seen them?
I haven't.
I feel like they're kind of weird looking. But like my cousin had them, and at first I felt like they were a little weird, but I was like, I really like that they're wireless because I was using the Wavebird with the GameCube at the time, and so I decided to get it. And I got really used to it. Like there were a number of years there where a real DualShock 2 felt very strange to me.
Really?
Because I was so used to the Logitech controller. And, so at the time I was playing Rogue Galaxy, I was using that Logitech controller, and I fought the battle, and then you get to, like, the very last phase of it. And this is a fight that takes, like, 50 minutes. And this is, like, the very end. And he did this attack that, like, I needed to block, but I didn't see it coming. I didn't know I was going to have to block. Blocking was not something that I had done extensively in the game up to that point. And I just, it was not generally that much of a required mechanic. And, so I thought, well, okay, I'll do better next time. And I got to it at the same time, and the exact same thing happened. I mean, it just happens so fast. You just don't know. There's just no time to learn, like, what you got to do, Mm-hmm. And I was so mad. It was, like, really late, too. It was probably, like, 1 in the morning, and I just really wanted to beat the game. And I just threw the controller, and it just, like, ricocheted, like, to the other side of the room. That's like the only time. It didn't break. The controller was fine. But I was mad. Only time I ever done that. I'm just so mad. I want to like Level 5's games so much more than I do.
Those eggheads must be exaggerating.
Well, I mean, I think you should try Dark Cloud 2 for sure at some point.
I did try it. And I couldn't get into it at the time.
I bet you'd like it now.
I feel I should give it another shot. I think I'm
it's
more
not hard.
open-minded about that kind of game now. At the time, I was very much against any element of randomness in a game.
Yeah, and this is not like it's just the levels themselves, and it's fine. They're so short; it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I'm more receptive to that sort of thing now than I was at the time, but I really wanted to like Ni no Kuni, and you finished that.
Ni no Kuni?
Yeah.
Oh man, like I did not like it. I put it on easy just.
Well, the story and atmosphere and characters.
Oh, the world was beautiful. I hated the battle system so much.
I could not stand the battle system. Like I probably played like 15 hours of the game, and I'm just like, this is not getting any better. And it killed me so much because there is so, Level 5 has great art and atmosphere and all that stuff they do so well with, but their gameplay, I'm usually like at best, with the exception of Dragon Quest VIII, which it's just Dragon Quest,
Yeah.
Dragon Quest is Dragon Quest. With the exception of Dragon Quest VIII, like everything I've played, I'm just like, I want to love this game, but the gameplay is just so to me. And like I keep just wanting something about Level 5's games to click with me, and it's not happened. It's not. But man, that battle system, Ni no Kuni, it was just.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like that was something that it felt like a battle system that didn't know whether it wanted to be action-based or turn-based, and they just sort of blended the two in a way that did not work. Like, that game would have been so much better if it was just pure turn-based.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with action-based RPG battle systems. I mean, that can be fantastic. But the way it worked in that game, in my opinion, they had no business trying to add action elements to it because it just did not work. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that there's a second one coming, but man, I don't think I'm going to play it. I just don't think I will. I mean, that's something I would probably get when it gets, like, cheaper. Like, I think it's neat that it's coming out.
I think it's cool that it's happening. I don't think I would like it, but it's impressive. Like, it's just, because that was like hyped up as being this like big like collaboration with, I don't even know how you pronounce this, Studio Ghibli. I don't know how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here.
This whole console says it sounds like someone needs to give Yokai Watch a try. I tried the demo, and again, like I just thought the battle system did not seem like any fun at all. I'd love to. I would have liked to have liked it, but that battle system, I just did not see any potential for me in that battle system. It just did not. Did not look like my cup of tea. Like I respect them. I respect their ideas. They do try a lot of interesting things, but very rarely does it click with me.
Yeah, I guess. By the way, where are you?
With the exception of Dragon Quest 8. I mean, Dragon Quest 9 was good too, but I like 8. I like 8 a lot more than 9, but 9 is good.
Yeah, 9 is really good. 9 might be my favorite one.
Well, it was your first, right?
Yes.
And it was also when you were like playing portable games on the subway every day.
Right. And there was also really cool, like the multiplayer was pretty cool in it. And that, right. I mean, I think that kind of got me more into it because, like the Nintendo World Store would have these meetups where people would bring their Dragon Quest 9s, and like do like a adventure together. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised. Like, I guess pleasantly surprised that, like, just to beat the game, like, having gone from Dragon Quest 7 and 8, which were very long games, 7 to its detriment, 8 to its benefit, because 8 is that awesome.
Right.
I was surprised that it kind of went back to like an older, like it just took like 40 hours to beat the game. Like just to play through the story.
Oh, with 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it took me longer because I did like a lot of the, there's just like some extra stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my save game had like over 200 hours maybe.
Wow. I
should pop it in sometime and see.
It's weird. Like I sometimes feel like I forget 9 exists. Like when I think like how I rank my Dragon Quest games, like I don't even really think of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a lot of different stuff that kind of goes on in this game, but I think it's pretty fun.
I mean, it looks fun.
There we go. There's my machine gun. It kind of captures the essence of Metal Slug pretty good in a 3D.
Yeah, I mean, it really looks like it.
I like that.
So can you only play as this guy?
No, there's 4 other characters it looks like you can unlock.
can you choose them between missions?
No, I mean, I think you have to unlock them. I thought maybe it would be like
You have to play.
story based or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they each have like different
levels.
Yeah. You know, you play through with him first, then you get, you unlock that second character and you can play through.
Yeah. Where are the characters' names? Do you know their names?
It's like Marco, Erie, Theo, and I don't know what the other guy is named.
Are there only 4 characters?
Yeah.
I feel like there's like, I mean, like 4 like playable characters in the series. I feel like there were more.
Some have more than others.
But like those are like the mainstays.
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I've only played like 3 is the one I played the most.
Mm-hmm. But then there's like Shock Troopers, and that game has like a ton of characters.
That has 8 characters, I think.
Yeah. Like,
And it has a character named Milky.
Yeah. That's a great game. I was actually
really
I was talking that game up today actually.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember how it came up.
Obviously, you're telling Drum about it. I think that he.
Yeah.
Like that's something I bet he would love it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I was telling him. I was like.
I mean, it's on. It's available on Switch.
Yeah, I wonder how those ports are. Does
They're
anyone
supposed
know
to be
how
pretty good, I guess.
Really?
They didn't start out very good, but I guess they were kind of like the brightness was weird, but I guess they're pretty good. Then. Yeah.
Has anyone played the?
That would be great for a stream. I bet you guys could beat it.
Yeah,
I mean, we did pretty good. Did we beat it?
Yeah, no, but I felt like we were getting close.
Yeah, Yeah.
I mean, if the Switch version of that is good, I would love to buy it.
Yeah, you should.
I'd like to try a download Switch game.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna need one eventually when we do Neo Geo, anyways. Might as well just get it.
Yeah, it's not virtual. It's not virtual console though, so we can't like really consider it a platform.
Right, but eventually when we do Neo Geo, we're gonna need it for something.
Yeah. Ruben Ahmed mentioned, or maybe was there a little conversation about Eternal Sonata going on? I don't know. That game was interesting because there was a lot about that game I didn't like. Well, a lot about it was pretty okay. But the weirdest thing is, like, I remember at the time thinking, like, the battle system in that might be, like, my favorite RPG battle system.
Really?
But the funny thing is, like, thinking back on it, I cannot remember for the life of me how the battle system even worked. But I remember at the time thinking it was amazing.
Not enough.
Not enough for me to remember. But I remember thinking it was great. I'd like to play it again. Like, that was like one of the only games that I can think of that had like a dual language option, where I ended up playing it in Japanese instead of English, because like I felt like the story was so dumb that
you just didn't care anymore.
That when I felt like it was less irritating to read the story than listen to the story. It somehow seemed more palatable, as something to read. And I think the final straw was like there was one or two characters that I just did not like their voice at all. And normally I'm pretty cool about that stuff, I have a high tolerance for, bad story and bad voice acting and stuff, but something about that game was just like,
I don't know what the C stands for, but it's like a grenade launcher or something. But it's not. It's like a...
Is it like the C missiles in Contra?
Yeah. Oh, geez. It's these things from... Oh, it's like homing missiles. Cool. It's like these things from Metal Gear Solid 2. I died. You know, the thing with like the helicopter blades on them. Have like the cameras in Metal Gear.
Oh, yeah. You know, people are talking about Breath of the Wild. You know, once you get like pretty far into the game, like it actually becomes really easy. Like I think, you know, if when talking about like if Breath of the Wild was unfair or something, I mean, remember, you can go somewhere else. You know, I mean, it's the thing I like about that game so much is, there's really no direction about where you can go, and the only reason it felt unfair is because you were going in an area, you know, when you were really kind of maybe too weak to be in there. So, you know, go do something else. You'll get, you know, a lot stronger later.
Right. Oh, there I go. I died again. Fish nailed. All right. I mean, it's just, it feels hard at first because, you know, it's supposed to.
Right. I mean, like early on, like I ran to this place where I like the path I wanted to take. There were bokoblins on horses, and they one-shot you early in the game.
Yeah.
So I had to take another route around, you know, and you can find a way. Which characters did I not like the voice acting of in Eternal Sonata? I think the main one was the female lead. I can't remember her name. There was another character named Salsa, and I think I think her voice might have annoyed me, but I can't.
Salsa.
Maybe not, but I want to say it was around the time that Salsa joined the party that.
That's like a great name. You know, it just makes me think. I saw like a tweet about the new Guilty. I think it's a new Guilty Gear game, and there's a character named Bacon, but it's spelled Baiken. At least that's how maybe that's not how you pronounce it. That's probably not how you actually pronounce it in game.
Well, in Eternal Sonata, all the characters have like music based names.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever consider covering the Heaven and Earth trilogy on SNES? What is that? That's not the Soul Blazer thing, is it?
I'm maybe that's Soul Blazer and Terra Enigma and yeah, I mean Soul Blazer, Terra Enigma, and Illusion of Gaia.
I saw a copy of Soul Blazer today. I think it was $60.
Yeah, it's a good game. I think you would like that. I think you would really like it. Yeah.
I never really. Something about Illusion of Gaia doesn't do it for me. But Terra Enigma looks awesome.
You should give Illusion of Gaia another chance. It's a very very good game.
Well, those things really do look like the Metal Gear things.
The what?
Those things really do look like the Metal Gear Solid, the two things. Illusion of Gaia, like, you know, again, that was kind of in that phase where I was like, if the game wasn't grabbing me, like, I just wasn't gonna deal with it.
Right.
Just a couple years ago, though, I watched a friend stream like the first like several hours of the game, and you know, it was not grabbing me.
You should give it another shot. It's a really good game, I think.
I feel like that's a game I should like, but I don't know. Something about it. I've never been able to get that interested in. But Terra Enigma, I'm very excited.
Oh, Terra Enigma is very very good. Did somebody say that that's what the heaven and earth? No one's saying that that's what it is. What it was? Are we right? If that's what the heaven and earth trilogy is.
I think so.
I mean, you know, it would be cool to cover it, I think, but that's definitely one of those series that's, I think there's a lot of videos like Rue from 16-Bit Gems, I think, covered them all very much more than, like, we wouldn't be able to really add a ton to it, I don't think. But, you know, I'm starting to realize, like, over time that, like, as the channel grows, like, it doesn't matter if it's been overdone, I guess.
Yeah.
We can always add our own little spin to it, I guess.
Yeah. How far did I get into Illusion of Guy? I admittedly did not get that far. I got to, it might have been like the first like really big boss, and I could not figure it out, and I just was not in the mood anymore. And then I watched, like I say, I watched a friend play a good bit of it on a stream, and I saw more of the game past that point. And, you know, it's, you know, there's that one scene that's relatively, you know, in the first several hours of the game where they're just, like, lost at sea for, like a month or more, maybe, right?
Yeah,
like
I love that part. I think it's great.
I know, like, that's pretty crazy.
That's like a great time skip.
Yeah. Me and Coury talk a lot about how we love, like, time skips in games.
Yeah.
Like, I love this, like, feeling of, like, you're, you know, in playtime, it's so short, but so much in the world may have changed in that time, and it's just like, it's this bizarre, like, it's an uncomfortable feeling, I think, but it's like, it just feels good, like, from a storytelling standpoint.
Right.
Like, it just, it fills me with this uncomfortable feeling, but it's interesting. Like, you know, I
was going for it.
Easily my favorite time skip is, you know, World of Ruin and Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great one. You know, what else had, like,
Final Fantasy VII, like,
Last of Us had a great one. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's like one of the defining aspects of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Whew. I gotta play the PS4 version of that. I've only played it the one time on PS3.
But you have it. You have that version too, right?
Yeah, but it took me so long to actually buy it. Because, like, it just wouldn't go on sale for the longest time.
Right.
Like, it was like $50 for, like, a year or two. It's like, there's no reason for this.
The guy drops like a floppy disk or like a Mo disk.
But I also really love the Final Fantasy VII time skip, because it's like it's only a week, but it's like
so much everything.
The
changes.
entire state of the world has changed. And it's just like you're catching up on like what everyone has been dealing with like for a week. Right. It's just like overwhelming. It's just like, oh my gosh, everything is bad.
I mean, spoilers. I mean, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
Pause the stream for a bit if you're worried about Final Fantasy VII spoilers.
Well, Final Fantasy VII.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was gonna say something more recent than that.
Oh, okay.
Much more recent.
What game?
Well, 15.
Oh, yeah, 15. That's like one of the better aspects of the game, I guess.
Yeah. Is
that 15 has that time skip. Like I love that feeling of like in the span of like nothing, like the world is just gone. I mean, from the view of the player, like all of a sudden, like everything is bad, and you're like catching up with characters, you know, from a long time ago, even though it was so little time, you know,
right.
your perspective. It's just, I don't know. There's just something really fun about that.
What is it? Does it say Diamond Blizzard? Diamond Blizzard. It sounds like it says, but it's that's definitely not what they're saying.
Last of Us multiplayer was fun. My response to that is, wait, Last of Us had multiplayer?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. I don't think I ever tried it. Maybe I tried it once. Yeah, I think I did try it once. Now I think about it. You know what's funny? You know, another game I grabbed today was the PS2 version of Ratchet and Clank 3, because I want to get like the PS2 versions of those. Like I played them on PS3. I didn't get into the series until PS3.
Right.
And it's like, you know, it's definitely one of my favorite PlayStation series now. But I just want to get the PS2 versions. And it's kind of funny because the back of the box for Ratchet 3, like, you have to really read it to like get any indication that there's like a proper single player story. Like they're really trying to sell like the online multiplayer, which I wonder if anyone really even played much of.
Well, I mean, Deadlock like really focused on that too.
Deadlock basically is a multiplayer game. Like, does Deadlock even have single player?
Oh yeah. It's like it's just like the arenas though. I guess it's pretty good.
Really? Like, I mean, to play single player?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard.
Like, does it have like a story to it at all?
It does have a story, but I mean, it's mostly
you're just doing
like
arena.
challenge. Yeah.
Really? Do you have it?
I do. Yeah.
Well, maybe you should stream it sometime. I'd be curious to see if it.
Will you look it up on How Long to Beat? See how long it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have like Clank's not even in it. He might be in the intro, but it's just called Ratchet.
Oh.
Mackerel.
According to How Long to Beat, it's main story 8 hours.
Oh wow.
Which is I would have thought. The box art for that looks like Ratchet looks like way too serious.
What am I supposed to even be doing here?
Surprised no one has come up with an alternative to the Hori pad. How hard would it be to mod an SNES controller for it? You don't have to because what's it called? RAFnet. Which is neither of us have tried the Super Nintendo to GameCube controller, right?
I want to get one really bad.
Yeah, I want to get one too. Just like, if nothing else, is like a backup to the Hori pad, just in case. I assume that it maps it like A is A and B is B, which might not work that well for a lot of games, but do you know if you can reprogram it like you can the GameCube to N64?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks, if memory serves, it looks like the GameCube to N64, which, you know, certainly impressed me a lot more than I thought it would. So, I mean, I would imagine you can't go wrong with that. Oh, the same guy saying he did try the RAFnet one, but there are no good mappings for GBA. Only 3 mappings. How could there be 3 mappings and none good for GBA?
This is like a major boss here. I was not expecting. Whoa! It's like bullet hell suddenly. It's like Nier style bullet hell. Oh, I do have Where'd you go?
You know, the boss fights, I thought were some of the better parts of Nier.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of gameplay, like, it's a very flawed game. But, like, when it actually came to the boss fights, I'm like, you know, these play out pretty well. Oh, trust us, RGB-related stuff for TurboGrafx PC Engine is definitely coming.
Yeah.
It'll still be a little ways off yet, but I mean, who knows it? We might be able to squeeze into the schedule this year.
Yeah.
I'd like to think we could, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, we're moving along.
There's a mapping that puts A on B and B on Y, but that disables the triggers. What? Sounds messed up. Does it put like R and L on X and Y or X and A or something? Are we going to too many games? Yes, we are. Actually, we need to do an announcement video.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get around to that in the next week or so. But yes, we will be at too many games. And we're excited about it. We're big fans of too many games.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're leaning towards skipping MagFest next year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of done.
I mean, at least for a few years, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, MagFest is fine and good, but it definitely this year it you know, a lot of MagFest felt like going through the motions this year.
Yeah.
Like it was I would say in essentially every regard not as good as the previous year. Well, most every there was definitely some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Happened to MagFest this year, don't get me wrong, but it's just I feel like there's just more that interests us in too many games these days.
Yeah, and we applied for a panel at Too Many Games. Hopefully, we'll get it.
We don't know yet.
Hopefully, we do. I can't imagine that we won't. I mean, we've done it for 2 years now. You never know.
The first year didn't go so well, but that was the first panel we ever did.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true. We did.
No, it was our first one.
Was it the first one?
Yeah.
Did we not? Was G Anime not first?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't. I wouldn't really consider that like a. It almost wasn't like a real panel. But it was more just like a hangout and
It was
talk.
a conversation, hangout, yeah. Well, we didn't know what to expect. Like it wasn't really an RGB panel. It was just kind of hang out with us. Oh, we would love to go to Portland Retro Gaming.
That's like the dream. I think that's like the one that we want to do the most.
We feel like we can't afford it right now.
Right.
I mean, especially.
We'll see what happens after Night Trap. Maybe Night Trap will.
We're hoping to do several more trips this year to do documentary type work.
Right.
Nothing is planned yet, but I mean, it's definitely that is definitely like what we want to be spending our money on this year.
Right.
Is doing documentaries. So, you know, going way out of our way for cons that, you know, unless we're invited, like it's kind of hard to justify the cost right now.
Right. This boss is pretty tough. It's pretty huge too. You know, it's like.
Retropalooza. What we were thinking about Retropalooza, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're going to in August. We're going to the Missouri Game Con.
Right.
When is it? Was there overlap between that and Retropalooza? I can't remember.
No.
There's a Long Island convention.
Right. You know, the Retro World Expo is something we've been asked about as well, which is a possibility. Man, I'm just like letting loose on this thing. I don't even. Rocket launcher, come on.
But yeah, you know, the Missouri Game Con hasn't been going on for very long. This might only be its second year.
Yeah, something like that.
But a lot of people like have been pretty excited for us to go to that for a while now.
Yeah, St. Louis, yeah. First time going there. Come on, how many times do I gotta get this guy? Now I gotta do it again. Wow, this is like surprisingly tough.
I mean, it looks though like the battle is like very like intricately designed though.
Yeah. I mean, I get what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Is it crazy that big green thing on his head just makes me think of like the green thing on an original Xbox?
It's not crazy. But yeah, I mean, well, who knows? Who knows? A lot of opportunities might open to us after Night Trap comes out.
Yeah. We, you know, like we said, we don't know for sure when it will come out. I mean, we certainly hope it won't be like a couple of months or anything. But
no.
You know, it might be a week. It might be a couple weeks. It might be a month. We just don't know. I wish we knew. We wish we knew more than anyone.
Yeah. Just because I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah.
And that's like the hardest part about it.
Who puts on Missouri Game Con? I am not sure. I believe it is some local. I believe it's someone that owns some local game shops, though.
I don't know. Maybe I don't do this. This is now I get this guy. I don't know if this is doing any real damage to him being out here and shooting like this.
You don't think it's the last boss, do you?
No. It can't be.
I mean, you know, you never know.
Maybe it's his last boss.
Oh, yeah, it's possible.
I'll keep going. I mean, we'll see what happens. Enemy Chaser is the name of that gun. Enemy Chaser.
Do I really think this is better than a fighting game? I mean, it's certainly...
People love, like, you get comments about that Nintendo Top 100 games, Nintendo Power 100 games of all time. People
like, they're like, expand your horizons.
Yeah.
I'm like, you all have no idea how much I've expanded my gaming horizons over the years.
Yeah.
I just don't have a lot of interest. I like Soul Calibur. I like Soul Calibur and Smash Brothers. Punch kick games, you know, punch kick style fighting games, never did a ton for me. You know, I've played Persona 4 Arena just because it was Persona, but you know, didn't get super into the fighting aspect. But I mean, yeah, I mean, a game like this is definitely more up my alley than the typical fighting game. Diamond
Blizzard. Any chaser.
I think at the time that I did that episode might have been before I played Streets of Rage, which I think I might have sort of downplayed a couple of brawlers in that episode. And I really liked Streets of Rage 1 and 2. I'm not too sure about playing games like Final Fight or anything like that, maybe, but I do feel more receptive to brawlers than I did. I've never really gotten into Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Neon is fun, but mainly it's an aesthetic thing,
Right.
than a gameplay thing for me. I tried to get into the NES Double Dragons and just never really could.
I think the NES Double Dragon's pretty good.
The original?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never liked it that much.
Will you see if there's like a FAQ on this?
Yeah. I like River City Ransom, but that's like almost like this like open world sort of game. Like it's a brawler, but there's like so much more to it.
Yeah.
Like the actual brawling is super basic. I like Ninja Turtles, as we said earlier. It's just what, Metal Slug? I'll just look for Metal Slug. There's some on PS2. Maybe Metal Slug 3D walk. Let's see. Oh, Metal Slug 2006. Oh, okay. Interesting. So the walkthrough is divided up by characters.
They got the one from Marco then. Let's see.
Yeah. Walkthrough Marco. Do you know what mission number you're on?
5 maybe?
Mission
The music's pretty good in this too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're pretty sure it's like 5.
Yeah. I mean, if you see something on a spider boss.
Let's see. This looks like here's something in mission 4 that says, okay, this could be your first problem of the game. That sounds about right so far.
Yeah.
You may spend a lot of ammo to defeat this boss, and you can't damage it from any part of its body. Plus, it has many powerful attacks. But once you know its attack style, you could handle this battle easily. Just need to spend some time to defeat it. Okay, yeah, it's talking about the tentacles, so this has got to be it.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, first equip H weapon. Aim to the ceiling right after the scene. You have to turn the camera view to the ceiling. Shoot down 4 of its tentacles to make it fall. Of cause, you should run in the same time to dodge the machine gun and the missiles. Shoot some more on it until it's blow out the missiles.
What? What does it mean?
Shoot some more on it until it's blow out the missiles. Now jump down to dodge the missiles. Shoot him with your HG if you have not much of H weapon ammo. Its weak point is the eye on top of it.
Yeah.
Keep running while shoot. Pay attention when it strafes out of the shot second time. Look around for some items. Be sure you take the life if you're not in full. When it start moving into the ground, go near the eye faster. Equip S weapon and shoot it as much as you can. Later, it will come out on the upper area. Run around at the bottom to dodge its lasers. Jump when necessary. After 3 times lasers attacks, it will hide again. Now jump to the lift and back up to the upper area. Shoot it as much as you can before the claw down to take it up again. When it was sticked on the ceiling, you have to shoot down its tentacles to make it fall again. Repeat the steps until it has been destroyed.
I gotta be getting close here.
Two brawlers I do want to try are Die Hard Arcade and Dynamite Cop.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, I told you I played a few of those Sega Ages recently. I played the Sega Ages remake of Dynamite Cop, Dynamite Deca.
Yeah.
And it's the PS2 version, and it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I think it'd be a really fun co-op.
Let me look up how much is. Do you know if like is the Dreamcast version better or?
The Dreamcast is like the sequel.
Wait, the sequel to?
Hang on.
Isn't it like the spiritual successor to Die Hard Arcade?
I think Dynamite Deca is Die Hard Arcade.
Ah.
Because it's definitely like a Bruce Willis clone. Is like the main character.
So they just licensed Die Hard for America or something.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Dynamite Cop is directly related then. I mean, it looks like it's $50, which I mean for a Dreamcast game that has some notoriety isn't necessarily that bad. That's disc only though. That's $41. You could get that for $50. I mean, I've heard. Oh, here's one for $40. I've heard people say good things about it, so there's like pirates and some crazy stuff on the cover for the game. It has a pretty awesome cover actually. Like it kind of looks almost like an 80s movie or something.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
It says it's tuna slinging, hairspray aiming, killer commandos to the rescue.
Come on, this thing's got to be close.
Got good aim with a rack of beef? Then get creative with your weapons. Hurl anything that's not nailed down at the no-good pirates who kidnapped the president's daughter. This ain't no clean fight. That sounds very 80s. Jumped out of the arcade to be converted to the Dreamcast with special bonuses. Fully interactive environments. Tons of power-ups, moves, and enemies. Many humorous weapons, including vacuum cleaners, pork bones, and hairspray.
I need heavy machine gun bullets.
I feel like I would like that game. I should definitely get that. But there's no port of Dynamite Cop, right?
The first one?
Well, the Dreamcast game.
No.
Yeah, arcade and Dreamcast. Oh, it came out early in the Dreamcast life, November '99. It still just amazes me how many games the Dreamcast has. Like, for a system that was around for a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
games. You know, I saw a game. What's it called?
I did it.
Oh, all right.
I can use the Diamond Blizzard from up high. Whew. So in the chat, I was like, "Is this a PS1 game?"
No, this is a late PS2 game. I saw a game. Oh, what was it called? It's called Crimson Something Ox.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that is like considered a bad game, but maybe there was something interesting I read about at some point. I can't remember though. It's a light gun game for Dreamcast though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I have a Dreamcast light gun.
You do?
Yeah. I got it for like $3.
When?
I want to say like maybe 6 months ago. I've never used it on anything.
Yeah, I didn't know you had one. Yeah, it's a light gun game. Oh, apparently.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Wrong with my window.
Wait, did you stop sending me video?
Oh, looks like I did. Weird.
Yes, and we've already prepared it for launch. We're just waiting for your orders.
Odd. Looks like my webcam got disconnected
Uh-oh.
somehow. That's odd. Let me see if I can fix it.
You're great.
Let's see. Can I power up my guy yet? Now I have 1,000 skill points. I don't understand how I'm supposed to make him more powerful. Maybe you can't till you beat it. You plug your webcam back in?
Yeah, and it reappeared in the. I've said again, but it's not. The call isn't giving me like the video option anymore. Let me hang up and call back.
Okay.
There we go. Well, it says Coury wants to show video.
Oh, weird. Decline it for sure.
Well, I didn't. As long as it didn't screw nothing up on the stream, I guess.
I don't know if I'm making the game harder than I'm supposed to, because I'm not powering up my guy, but I'm just gonna keep going.
Red Floyd did Discord launch the video chat yet? Because that's the main reason we still use Skype is because we need video chat.
Yeah.
I do use Discord in some applications for voice only chat though. But
yeah, I mean, as soon as they have they have video.
Discord is a great group text chat thing. We've got a chat room for our Patreon subscribers, which is actually pretty active.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in there actually.
Yes, this game is Japan only.
Yeah. But all the voice is in English.
Yeah, so it seems pretty easy to play.
I'd buy it. I might get this at some point in the future.
Yeah, it's just an interesting game.
Yeah.
These mines were built 8 billion years ago.
Impossible. Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago. It's got to be a mistake in the analysis.
I know it's an
Uh-oh, there's something going on.
no mistake with the dating.
Yeah.
Could it
in
be
these
using
ruins that are
something
older than the
Zelda
Earth
named
itself.
as the basis for Morden's advanced
Apparently.
technology?
The Alator?
Like, that's impossible.
Wait.
That was... What?
Seem to understand these ruins too
You hear
well.
the
This is just a
No, I can't hear anything.
oh.
That's right.
Well, he said, he's like, that's impossible. The Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago.
Let's get out of here.
It's only part of the conversation I picked up. All right, I'm on mission 5. How many missions are there for each character? If that's in fact how it works.
Let me get back to that fact.
Yeah, I'm fighting zombies now.
I mean, I don't really think of the Discord chat as being through a paywall because we didn't really even. I mean, that was never really the thought or intent behind it. It was just kind of like, oh, like Patreon kind of makes it like easy to like integrate like a Discord group into it.
Yeah.
Like we just kind of made it a fun bonus for subscribers. I mean, I think like a Discord chat that anyone could join would be like way too unwieldy. Like it would move too fast.
Right.
Like it was definitely like I never thought of it in a sense of like, oh, maybe people will sign up for Patreon if we put the Discord chat on there. That was never. I don't think we've ever even advertised it, have we?
The Discord chat?
The Discord chat.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's just a bonus. It was not a sort of it's not incentivized in any way really. Oh wow, it actually looks like at least Marco looks like he has. It looks like they have like 11 missions each.
Really? So I'm only on mission 5. So it's pretty decently long.
Pretty substantial game. I mean, yeah. I mean, well, it's some of the missions like it says just like Marco's mission or something like that. So there's clearly some overlap.
Right. I mean, looking on eBay, I only saw one listing for this.
Really? Well, I mean, I guess it's not too surprising. Do I have a Switch? We both have a Switch. We enjoy the Switch.
We played Mario Kart 8 on the Switch on stream last week.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Heavy machine gun, there we go. Ooh, it's an F. It's that flame. Oh, a flame shot. Flame shot. That's gonna work good on these.
Who
zombies.
is My Life in Gaming? Is it Coury or Try or both? It is both.
Yeah.
Are you asking specifically about who is the My Life in Gaming in the chat? I mean, we've both got the chat open, so it could be anyone.
Sounds like I've even watched the videos.
Oh, I think they're specifically asking like in the chat, though we haven't dropped anything in the chat this stream. But it could be either of us. I mean, we're both logged in.
Yeah. Fighting these golem things.
Wow, but wow, I mean, like older than the Earth itself.
I know. Enemy chaser. I mean, I mean, it's challenging at times, but like general battles are not that tough.
But it just looks fun to play.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be at Try's house for about 12 hours this week.
Yeah, you're on your way to a wedding that's like 2.5 hours from my house, I guess.
Yeah, and
So you're gonna save on a hotel for one night.
right.
I wish we could do more while you were here, but
Yeah, that's all right though. I get to see your whole new redone setup.
yeah.
Is it done?
Well, there's a few loose ends I need to tie up. Maybe I'll try to get most of it settled before. I mean, everything. Like I was gonna test something out on GameCube earlier, and now I was like, oh, that's right. I can't do anything with component systems right now. Because the way, I'm gonna have to route the G-Comp through since I'm switching from the impact to the G-Comp. And the G-Comp only has one output. I'm going to have to route G-Comp through the Extron and output it to,
That's okay though. I was thinking about taking my impact and just running it through the Extron and having that go, like have the Extron feed the Framemeister and everything else.
But you're bringing some BNC cables for me.
Yeah.
Which I'm
6
going
sets.
to, which I'm going to use. I think I only need 5.
I have an extra set that I did not use out of the 6 that I bought, but I keep on thinking like, I wonder how I can use them. I'm sure there's plenty of ways you'll be able to figure out to use them.
I think I counted. I wrote down like everything that how I'm going to have everything hooked up through the Extron, so I'll reference that when But I'm waiting for those cables from you to deliver them this week.
Yeah. I'll be excited to see how you use everything. But it's funny because you were like, for the longest time, I was saying, they're pretty handy to have. And then you start redoing your setup, and you're like, actually, I think I'm going to use it a whole bunch.
Right, when I originally figured out like how I was going to revamp my setup, like it had nothing to do with an extra at all, and
now you kind of realize the extra things you can do because of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, or at least do things easier, right?
Right.
I mean, I was thinking about getting another expansion card for my second PVM so that I could have component and RGB going to both of them. But when we were talking about the Extrons, and I would realize it would be easier to do the Switchers episode if I also had an Extron instead of just you. And then I was like, well, the thing that changed my mind about getting the Extron was I was like, well, I realized that I could route a few things through it and ultimately make it easier to do my setup when I reorganize.
Right.
And
I didn't have to unhook mine.
I thought I'd route like 3 things through it, and then I realized I'm going to be using like all but one of the inputs and like maybe like 6 outputs.
Right. And I told you, you're like, oh, I don't know if I need to get an 8x8. I'm like, you should just get it just because you never know. Can you imagine how annoyed you would have been if you'd gotten like an 8x4 and you can't do it?
I know. So anyway, like how it's set up right now, the G-Comp is going to the Extron right now, but then it's not going anywhere from there yet. I'm waiting for your cables. What I might end up doing, possibly, is like, I might change a connection to use the extra BNC cables. I might change a connection from RCA to BNC adapters to BNC to RCA, because do you have this experience with your RCA to BNC adapters where they just like don't grip very well?
No, exactly. That's why I switched everything over to BNCs, and I just put the BNC to like RCA, like little parts that go into them, because those fit into like RCA inputs.
Well, I bought like a pack of like, I might need to end up getting more, but I bought a pack of like, these are very uncommon. I bought a pack of female BNC to male RCA. Is that right? Hold on, let me get the package and let me see what.
It's just like the male RCA.
I've got some here.
So you just stick it into the BNC and click it in, and it turns into an RCA.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Wait. No, it's female BNC to female RCA.
Oh,
and
interesting.
I had a hard time finding anything like that. But if you had this, you could connect
Like
component cables to a male BNC cable. And then that male could go to your PVM or Extron or whatever.
Right.
But I bought a pack of these. I only found I want to say one listing on Amazon for this style.
Really?
Yeah, like normally it's like male BNC to female RCA for plugging a male RCA into. But this way I can couple an RCA to a BNC. I use it as a coupler. I've actually already got a set of these sitting, or no, hold on, I think it's 3. Yeah, I got some.
I'm not doing this whole part again. I'm done.
I've got some male RCAs to female BNCs sitting in the FrameMeister's component adapter right now. Which I will then, some of the cables that you bring me, I'll plug into that.
Right.
So I'll have actually BNCs ultimately going to the FrameMeister.
I got a set, like several of the things that I use. I got like special cables for them that are actually BNC on one end and then output the component.
Oh, okay.
Like by like Starin or something like that. They're like $12 for a 6-foot cable. I think they're for like their main purpose is for like satellite dish or something like that, like Dish Network or whatever boxes.
Oh, okay. That'd be pretty convenient.
Yeah. So several of the things use that.
I'm surprised how much story's in this game.
I know. That's hopefully it saves my progress, because I didn't see anything that said it saved my progress.
Oh, really? Do you like have to check out the menu?
Oh yeah, you can select them. It looks like I can. So yeah,
Wait, wow.
Pretty cool game.
Oh, is this like the opening FMV you're looking at now?
Yeah, it's kind of weird looking. Like the art style doesn't translate over super well to like FMV stuff.
They tried.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, let me switch over here.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, a lot better than you'd have me believe. And
Yeah.
people.
There's a sequel you didn't know was good.
Exactly. I mean, maybe it's not for everybody, but I think it's pretty good. Who knows how long?
It looked like my kind of game.
Yeah. But well, so what is the like? We don't have anything coming this coming week, obviously, because it seems so weird that we released I don't think we've ever released an episode on like Saturday night before.
Surely we have. Surely.
I don't know. I think Saturday afternoon, but never Saturday night.
Surely. I don't know. But I'm going to be out of town for a good chunk of June.
Right.
So I'm trying to get 2 relatively simple episodes done before I leave so that we've just got them ready to release while traveling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Coury is going to be working on Saturn RGB.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. I'm not gonna think about it for like 2 days probably. It's just like editing Night Trap was like really really intense. Night Trap is done, essentially. Yeah. Like it's like 99.9% done.
You need to replace a few clips with a newer build when it's available of the new version of the new game.
Right, but essentially, like other than that, it's done. Like doing that and then going into this most recent episode. I mean, it was a weird situation because I was like so into. Then was so into the Night Trap episode, and I was just like feeling like, oh,
yeah.
After like starting this most recent one,
it was definitely a bit of whiplash, I guess.
Yeah, like I just was like, I'm so unenthused about this right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
yeah, I mean,
I just want to say like it sucks knowing that we have this awesome episode that people can't watch yet.
Yeah,
like I want people to see it so bad. Yeah. And that's like the hardest part about it is like knowing that it's like there.
Yeah, it's sitting on the channel and you can't see it.
Yeah, I mean that's not the final version. Obviously.
That's not the final version, but yeah, it's. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. Like I really want people to see it too. Like we've been waiting a long time.
Yeah.
We've been waiting a long time. But so yeah, Saturn RGB coming relatively soon. And then as soon as we're back from like too many games, I'm going to start working on PS2 RGB.
Yeah. And at that point, like I'll do a couple of small episodes.
Yeah, you'll deserve that.
I mean, I have a few, like I have several like smaller episodes that I am excited to do. I think I'm going to do an episode like about the Saturn SD card mod. Mm-hmm. I have portable EverDrives I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Someone's asking about Phantasy Star 3. That'd be...
Yes, Phantasy Star 3 is definitely... I wanted to do it last December. It just like didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But Phantasy Star 3 is definitely happening. And you know what? Like I should just start it. I kind of got a separate kind of crazy idea for an episode yesterday that would be probably an hour and a half long.
Oh yeah, this.
Which I think would be okay because it would cover like more than 30 games.
It's something that you just like.
But I don't think it would be like too crazy. I mean, it'd be just like kind of showing everything and talking about it. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Maybe that's something I'll just like kind of capture and kind of write over a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of my regrets with the episode we just released is that I played Blasting again, like, I forget, it might have been last summer or maybe in the fall. It was sometime last year. And I didn't have the foresight to record it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought, this is great. And so I didn't have enough time to like do a full replay. So I only played about maybe a little over a third of the game again, maybe about a third of the game again. And like I really wanted to get like much further into the game where you get like the hover upgrade, which like works really well. but unfortunately, I just didn't have time. So everything you see in the video is from like the first third of the game, and because I thought I would just be able to like wander around like my old save, but like it looks like I started like a new game plus on it or something. So that kind of stinks. But I was going somewhere with that, and I forget where I was talking about. Oh well, I think it made me realize like that we shouldn't just be afraid of just recording the games we're playing, and like maybe it'll strike you. And if nothing else, we can put it on the B-roll channel.
Right.
But we'll just record the games, and maybe we'll unexpectedly make progress on a future episode of some kind just by recording a game we're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it takes up hard drive space, but comes with the territory, I guess.
Do you want to do something kind of random and fun? I don't know.
That?
Well, I mean, hang on one second.
I don't know. It's if this late in the day, I don't know how much fun I want to have anymore.
So hopefully this won't be too hard for me just to kind of set up and get going really quick. But I received in the PO box yesterday.
Oh, something in the PO box.
A video that is the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time Nintendo 64 retail version videotape.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything on YouTube of it. And it's apparently.
Did you know you were getting this, or did it just
I did know I was getting it, but I didn't expect it so soon. It says, Coury, I'm honored to present this, as far as I know, obscure video to My Life in Gaming. Discovered your channel a few months back, and I'm thoroughly impressed with all the RGB and live plays would try. Enjoy, and please take your time if you want to consider this a donation. By all means, don't send it back. From Nicholas DeMeo. So should I just pop it in, see what it is?
Sure. I mean, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it in real time or hear anything on it, but...
Okay, 1 second. Let me just see if I can get it set up here.
I feel like it's going to be pretty straightforward, but that's interesting. We are both big fans of Grandia, and we would love to do more RPG videos than we do. We're both big RPG fans, but one reason that we don't do a ton of RPG videos is because they're just obviously time consuming to capture. But we would definitely like to do more. We're big fans of Grandia.
All right. Let's give it a shot.
All right.
Let me switch my thing over so I can actually see it. There we go. I don't know what to expect.
I don't either. We could be the first to put it on YouTube.
Maybe. Get ready for the most anticipated game of all time.
It definitely felt like it at the time. It may have been.
This will probably get us flagged by Nintendo. But whatever.
Well, probably not. Like, whoa, that like silver Zelda on the title screen is weird.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, when this VHS came out.
I don't know, but I think this repeated at stores, maybe.
Ah,
But I don't know. I mean, you're good at picking this stuff out, so you'll be able to tell if something is
off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the the B button text is
Backwards.
wait. I need to see another action shot. In the final release, sword is on B and actions are on A. Oh yeah, this is an earlier version.
When he's writing Epona, it says whip.
Oh, and look, Navi appears on the B button instead of up C.
Ah.
I wonder what they were using up C for at this point. What's I can't hear it all that well. Is
It's
the
like original music. It's not from the game at all.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it. Yeah, it's interesting. Sword is on A. I've seen that in like much earlier things, but usually it has like a like Japanese text on the action button instead. Like for example, when we looked at that Fuse video magazine, it had sword on A and action on B, but it had Japanese text. I mean, basically, though, it's looking like the final version. I was looking at that fight with Shadow Ganon. There was a Triforce in the middle of the floor. I don't remember. Is that the texture that's in the final?
Wait till you see the logo like kind of go to the center of the screen. No, coming November 23rd. So it's got to be pretty close to the release.
Pretty close to release, but they probably recorded this stuff. I wonder how. Whoa, the fairy.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's very much not the final fairies. Granted, the final fairies may have. Whoa, that.
I know, right?
Title screen. I mean the final fairies may have not been, very friendly for just, playing at a store of a loop on a store video. They aren't very family friendly looking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks, Nicholas DeMayo. DeMayo, something. Yeah, I think that's right, DeMayo.
I'll try up an image of. Oh, okay, that is the final texture. I just didn't remember it looking like that. But yeah, some subtle differences there. Aside from the fairy, that was a huge difference.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I'll digitize that and put it on the.
Yeah, I mean,
on the B-roll channel.
Do you think? You think there's any potential for that in a future VHS video, or just release it on B-roll?
I just put it on B-roll. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
we can still feature it.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I'm excited for us to do another video like that. Like I
want to do laser discs.
Yeah. That'll be some neat stuff.
Yeah. Well, is that going to do it for us tonight? I think it might.
Yeah, I think so. So, I've got some ideas for next week's stream. Coury will
Hopefully be on time. I mean, there's a chance I might not be because I'll be driving back from North Carolina that day.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it'll definitely fall to me to do the stream on Sunday. So well, I've got some ideas. I don't know for sure if they'll work out, but I will find out. And
yeah, you kind of have
I have an idea that would be pretty cool, but I
depends on if you receive it in time. I guess.
depends on if I receive something in time.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.